And welcome back to the homemade podcast of sports with your host Jay Pops. Guys, we are back. We're back. Guys, look, last night it was amazing. It was amazing, guys. So we're here, of course, to talk about the live overreaction. And guys, let me know if you all can hear me. Because from what I'm looking at, I believe you guys can and stuff like that. So you guys just let me know if you can hear me or not. But anywho, guys, so man, we're back. We're back. Like I say, once again, please forgive me for not coming out with those stats. So far as that Texas A&M defense against that offense. No, I'm sorry, not the stats, but that game plan with the Texas A&M defense against that New Mexico's offense. Guys, everything was just so off track that day, and I had to get up that Thursday morning because I had a meeting at 9 a.m. So please forgive me on that one. I thank everybody for tuning in. Guys, let's continue to build this podcast up. And guys, let's continue to go global here, okay? So my family's inside, my little girl. Of course, guys, I always got to start the podcast talking about my family here, man. But my little girl is looking out this window right now, as you can see. And she's, well, y'all can't see it, but man, she's doing the most. She probably about to pull my blinds down. But man, that's my baby girl. But guys, look, man, I'm ecstatic. Now, I knew this here. I knew after the game was over with that you were going to hear a lot of people that wasn't really satisfied, with everything. But for the most part, I'm very, very satisfied from what I've seen from that offense. Me and my wife is my best friend, if you guys do not know. Me and my wife, man, and from what she's seen as well, we sat there, man, and we watched it. And I told my wife, I say, man, this is a different Texas A&M offensive team right here. This is a different Texas A&M team, period. For those guys, forgive me, for those guys to put up 35 in the first half, in which I was 7 points away from covering what I had asked you guys in the question. Hey, what if Jimbo puts up 42 points before halftime? What if that score is 42-7 before half? What will be your reaction? What I got when I asked that question, I got a lot of guys to say this here. Man, I will go crazy, but I will also say, oh, man, it's New Mexico State. But then again, it won't happen. I was 7 points away from having that actual question being asked come to fruition. This is what I'm saying here. The reason behind that question that I asked was because you look at the 2012 team with Kevin Sumlin being the head coach and Johnny Manziel also being the quarterback of that team. This was the point that I was getting at. Now, granted, they were playing South Carolina State, but this was the point that I was making. If that score is 42-7 at halftime, then you may just be reliving and rewatching that 2012 team in 2023. That was the whole point that I was making. At the end of that game, they ended up winning 70-21. Yeah, believe it or not, they ended up winning 70-20. No, 21. Texas A&M last night was 18 points away from scoring 70 points. That should say something to a lot of people. It was New Mexico. I understand this. It was still an FBS team. We lost to the FBS team last year, and you guys said the same thing. Learn how to beat App State, and then we'll go from there. This is what you guys told me. This is what you guys told a lot of us. You guys can't even beat App State. And we continuously told you guys, hey, man, the App State game looked bad, but we all know what the issue was right there. But we continued to go along with that season, and we lost more games. That was last season, though. I continue to tell you guys that, too. Guys, that was last season. Stop talking about last season. This year is going to be different. Bobby Petrino is the offense coordinator, and we're going to see how it goes. Now, this was the first game. Granted, this was the first game. This is an overreaction right here. From what I've seen, ESPN, I think they're a little mad at Texas A&M right now because I didn't see not one highlight from that game that was on the ESPN college football scoreboard that comes on every time after the Saturday slate is over with. I didn't see not one highlight. They didn't post it. They clearly covered the spread, and they clearly went over the over and under game, which was set at about 49 and a half. I told you though, I told you they were going to go over. I told you this. Once again, this is a different ball club. They're going to come on with it. I see a lot of you guys in the comments, and I thank you guys for that. Please, man, tell a friend and tell a friend, and let's get a lot of you guys eyes on this and get a lot of you guys watching this. Hell, I'm like Josh Payton. Shout out to Josh Payton, by the way. Guys, I'm a couple of subscribers away from 1,300 subscribers. If I can get that, guys, it lets me know that this podcast is going to go further and further. Loving the shirt, Jerry Williams. Shout out to you. Thank you for that. DeBerry at cornerbacks looks very promising. Yes, he does. He does. And guys, I just want to tell you all this. DeBerry beat out Tony Grimes and others for that starting corner role. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought Tony Grimes was going to get it. I honestly thought that. I did not see Tony Grimes on yesterday, but then again, that may just be something that DJ Durkin put in there for that specific game. Okay? Understand this. What we seen in this game, we will not see this in Miami game. We did not see the tight end. We did not see the tight ends get utilized in this game. Guys, don't think for a minute that the tight ends will not get utilized. Do you not know how many tight ends we have in that room right now? We got about the same amount of tight ends as we do wide receivers, and that's crazy. So just understand that Jake Johnson, he almost had a touchdown yesterday, but Connor had to overthrow it because of the simple fact that he got pressured on that play. But understand this. It's coming next week. Look out for the tight ends to start making a couple of plays. Miami ain't going to know what plays they are. I'm sorry. I expect for Texas A&M to cover in that game, but we're going to get to that game next week. Matter of fact, we're going to get to that game starting on Monday, okay? And we're going to go from there. But just continue to watch everything, okay? And like I told you once before, this Texas A&M team is different. This is a different animal. I love what I've seen from the defense, although a lot of people aren't satisfied with the defense. I mean, let's be honest here. I'm not neither, but I love what I've seen from, okay? I do know that the defense will get better overall, okay? However, the linebacker play looked good. I liked it for the most part. I liked it. Also, I know a lot of you guys are talking about Miami because the game didn't pass from yesterday. But once again, this is an overreaction. I'm going to just throw this out there. What I seen from Miami did not impress me. But then again, I know they didn't show everything night. All right, so I will say that. But what I seen from them first game, that did not impress me, man. That did not. Tyler Van Dyke looks better. I will say that. They look better. Tyler Van Dyke looks better. I will say that the pass defense has to step up, and they have to get ready for what's going to be thrown to them because they're going to try to pick on them. But then again, I do believe that the defense will show up and show out in Miami. All right, understand that going to Miami and playing there is going to be a different feeling. It's going to be a different feeling. And I believe that they will go to town and they'll handle their business. Okay, they will handle their business. Also, like I say, man, Connor Wingman played like a Heisman Trophy quarterback on yesterday. Regardless of who the competition was, we're all sitting here and we're glad that Texas A&M did not play down to the competition. Okay? We're all ecstatic about that. A lot of people ain't going to tell you that, but, man, we're actually glad that A&M did not play down to that level of competition in which they did so much on last year. The UMass game, they played down to the level of competition, and that's the reason why that game was 20-7 or 20-3. It's something like that, if I can remember. All right. Chris Carr be saying 52-3 over Miami. If Texas A&M wins 52-3 against Miami, that's insane to me because you're going to have two straight games where Texas A&M scored 52 points. A lot of people told me that Bobby Petrino, coming from Missouri State, averaged about 22 points a game in 2022. How is he going to make that offense significantly better? Well, he just showed you one last night how he made that offense completely better than what it was in 2022. Okay? Once again, Bobby Petrino has never had this many playmakers on one team in the same year. He can use everybody. The wide receivers that you seen out there last night, that's not going to be the starting lineup for the Miami game. I understand you guys did not see Moose in the starting lineup. Just know that Moose is coming. You did not see Anias in the starting lineup. Just know that they're coming. They did not need to get utilized for that game. This is no shot to New Mexico or nothing like that. But they did not need to get utilized for this game specifically. Understand the game plan and understand football. Understand the talent that we have as opposed to the next team. Coming into this season, Texas A&M is the fourth best talented team in the nation for the second year in a row. They now have an offensive coordinator that's going to do wonderful things for this team. All right, I seen Jimbo on the sideline just like you all seen Jimbo on the sideline. And what did he do with his play called sheet? Not tablet, sheet. He rolled it up, put it in his back pocket and said, to hell with that. I'm going to walk the sideline for a little bit because I'm getting bored. I'm getting bored. I just want to see this team excel. Jimbo was actually getting bored because he didn't have to call the plays. That was the thing. Is Jimbo willing to accept the boredom of being a CEO / head coach from here on out? Huh? That is what I'm saying. Okay? Chris Cobb, shout out to you. Great show, bro. Keep it up. Hope you get into the studio soon with the rest of the media. I hope so as well. And if they're willing to work out a weekend schedule for me to just come in there and specifically do podcasts on the weekends, man, I'm for it. I'm for it. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. If they're willing to let me go in there just on Sundays specifically and do an overreaction pod, I'm with that. I would do that faithfully, okay? I would do that faithfully, man. Caleb Freeland, 45-17 Ags winning. You guys are already talking about Miami. You guys are going to lead me into talking about that Miami game so bad. But I'm not going to do it right now because, like I say, this is the overreaction, okay? But once again, man, I'm excited. Hell, even my wife was excited. My kids looked at the game for a little bit. You got to understand kids here. Kids are not going to look at the whole game now. But my kids were into it for a little bit. They enjoyed it. Once again, like you guys said, Connor Wingman had about 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I don't know what else you want from Connor. I seen a lot of comments saying, yeah, but Connor underthrew the receivers a lot in this game. Guys, he threw the ball where the ball should have been at. That's not an underthrow. Now, was the timing maybe off just a little bit? Yeah, maybe so. But then again, he knows he has the receivers to go up and get the ball. I see a lot of you guys saying, yeah, man, but what Connor did, that ain't going to work against SEC competition. Why do you guys think that? Why? Once again, I think you guys are overreacting. And I applaud you guys for not saying that that's enough, you know, because you don't want to be satisfied and get comfortable. I do this at work all the time. I don't get comfortable with what I'm doing. I want to change up some things, but you have to gradually change. Connor will get better as the season goes on. Noah Thomas will get better as the season goes on. Evan Stewart will get better as the season goes long. That's dangerous. The guy that you guys aren't even much talking about here, which is the hidden gem, is Jaheed Walker. I'm gonna say that again. It's Jaheed Walker. Yes, guys, he was number 9. His jersey number was number 9. That's Jaheed Walker, if you guys not know. He's a transfer wide receiver from Grand Valley State. Yes, guys, I know my stuff here. I've been criticized on that for me not knowing my stuff. You know, but that ain't me being arrogant or nothing like that. But I'm just saying, you know, I'm just throwing it out there, man. But yes, that's Jaheed Walker. He was pretty damn good. He was pretty good. These are some lengthy wide receivers that we're going to see on this field for Texas A&M going forward as the season goes along. All right. As of right now, Connor Wingman, quarterback rating. After this game was gone. His QBR right now is 97.2. He is the leading SEC quarterback right now so far as the QBR is concerned. 97.2. Of course, we all seen Jackson Dart. I seen him at Ole Miss. Yes, guys, I seen him. They're playing FCS. FCS, FBS, that's a whole different type of dog right there, okay? Ole Miss played Mercer, so they done everything that they were supposed to do. Texas A&M played New Mexico. They done everything in which they were supposed to do. The point that we're all trying to spread out to you guys is that all offseason we heard about this and about that. You guys got to learn how to win against App State. And blase. We heard this. You know, we've done our best to say, guys, just sit back. We're going to prove to you guys in 2023. This was Connor Wingman's statement on Texags during the show that was put out there on Stacked. Connor Wingman quote, not mine. We're not coming out there just to win. We're coming out there to dominate. Connor Wingman lived up to the hype in that one game that he told you guys about. Once again, Connor Wingman statement, not mine, we're coming out there to dominate. I mean, we're coming out there not just to win, but we're coming to dominate. He dominated in the first half alone and damn near had no incompletions. I don't know how you throw passes that perfectly, but we've seen him do this one last year. The LSU game, in which a lot of people said this in the offseason too, that LSU game is a momentum builder for you. That's a momentum builder for that 2022 class and beyond. Those guys are going to be good, man. I don't know why you guys are sleeping on them. And they have Bobby Petrino as offense coordinator. I've heard this too. Bobby Petrino ain't a good guy. Oh, but he's a darn good offense coordinator. What makes you guys say that he isn't a good guy? You guys don't know him personally. You guys don't. You look at everything throughout the media and figure that, yep, I'm going to take this and I'm going to run with it. You guys don't even know the man. You don't know him personally. Oh, well, you know, man, I'm just looking at the history of things. No, you're not. You guys don't even much know what you're talking about. See, that's what gets me. Before you guys go and run your mouth about everything, sit back and analyze a couple of things here and say, okay, look, I don't know the man personally, so I'm not going to say anything about him personally. What I will say is that his offense has been legit ever since he's been calling football. You know, you guys hate to mention that because you guys just want to make a narrative about everything. What a narrative after this game was, they beat them, but it's New Mexico. Of course it's New Mexico. Yeah, but wait until they play an SEC opponent. Guys, we don't play an SEC opponent until the third week when we play Auburn. Guys, we have to wait. So why can't we talk about the games now? You know, why can't we talk about it now? Because it doesn't fit the narrative. Guys don't want to give credit to where it's due. That's the reason why I'm gonna call you out, ESPN, for not saying anything about Texas A&M when you guys completely dogged them all offseason. This was you guys' response to after Jimbo Fisher hired offense coordinator Bob Petrino. Yeah, but will it work? It worked in the first game, so I don't understand why it won't work the rest of the season. I saw something where somebody commented and said, yeah, Jimbo will get the play calls back, you know, within the third week. So in the third week, can I come back and do another overreaction and tell you guys how you were wrong about that as well? And I know what you guys are going to do. You guys are going to say this here. Yeah, but that was Auburn, and that was Hugh Freeze's first game with Auburn being the head coach. I mean, we can't win with you all. We cannot. All we can do is just play the game. And hell, even if they win a national championship, the narrative will move again. It will move again. Yeah, but man, that was a fluky year for every team in 2023. You guys don't want to look at 2021 for whatever reason and stuff like that. But man, we're getting off topic there. But let's strictly stick to this game here. This game here will tell a lot about this season going forward. We can't take everything about what we seen in the game versus New Mexico to actually end the season. But what we can do is take away from how the quarterbacks look and how their wide receiver room look. It is a mass separation from Connor Wingman and Max Johnson right now. However, this was Max Johnson when he got in the game. This is Max. 6 out of 9, 41 yards, 1 touchdown. I don't know what you wanted from Max that he didn't already show you. Is Max going to transfer? I don't think so, because Max is the actual backup. He's the actual starting backup quarterback. He's not going to lose that spot unless it's due to injury or something. However, man, he's not going to lose that at all. Let me read a couple of these comments real quick. So, play to win 1958. Bryce Anderson named all over the broadcast, and I worked with his uncle Ryan. Already got an A&M warm-up soup from him. Feel blessed to know them. So here come the nickel defense and Bryce. Yeah, I agree on that one. Chris Carr, our co-eds got him tamed to win the West. Tamed to win the West. Jumbo looked so relaxed, and motorcycle will be parked into the SEC championship game this year. Yeah, that's true. Noah Yarbrough, I need a homemade podcast shirt. Guys, just know that this is the first ever edition of these shirts. Now, the person that makes these shirts is my cousin-in-law. Her name, golly, I can't even think of her name right now, but mainly because that's kind of hitting me on the nail right now. But yes, this will be the homemade podcast shirt going forward. I will have different colors of these. And guys, you all have to give me time to actually get a whole fabric of these with different sizes and stuff like that. And I will start selling these, okay? I will start selling the homemade podcast t-shirts going forward. Yes, this is a marketing thing. Like I say, guys, a lot of stuff is going to change this year. My wife, she hasn't been selling the candles lately, but she will get back on them as well. I will have her to start branding those with a lot of stuff, okay? So, yes, I thank you for that. I hear a lot of you guys saying, hey, man, I like those shirts, J-Pop, stuff like that, man. I thank you guys for just being loyal fans of not only Texas A&M, but loyal fans of the podcast as well. Okay, some of you guys are alumni, I know this, and some of you guys are actually going to school at Texas A&M right now. I give you guys a whole shout out, and to my guy out there in Tokyo, trust me, I have not forgotten. I've not forgotten about you. I still have your email saved in my files, and I will get you a shirt soon because you made that request. You said you wanted a homemade podcast t-shirt instead. So I will get that to you, okay? Just know that, man. Just know that. All right. Play to win. I appreciate you for being a loyal listener, man. I appreciate that a whole lot. But yes, man, I will have merchandise going forward. It's time. It's time for me to upgrade and everything. The only thing that I don't have is just a studio setup, but I didn't want one, because this is a homemade podcast. So if I cannot do it homemade, in which I'm sticking to what I said it was, then why am I doing it? Okay? Why am I doing it? It doesn't make any sense for me to not keep it homemade when it's homemade podcast. I want to stick to what I said. So that's the reason why I have not went studio at all. Okay? But guys, let's keep on going here, man. So the stats that we're looking at. Now it's time to get to some fun stuff. So the stats. Passing wise. Connor Wingman, and I'm just talking about the starters here. Connor Wingman, 18 of 23, 236 yards, 10.3 average. I've never seen that before. Also, shout out to Connor Wingman for being the first ever quarterback to score 5 touchdowns in a season opener. Yes, I said it, guys. He is the first quarterback to throw 5 touchdowns in a season opener at Texas A&M University. All right, so 18 of 23, 236 yards, 10.3 average, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 97.2 QBR. Texas A&M rushing. I do agree the rushing is better, but you guys have to hear this. Amari carries for 51 yards with a 7.3 average. The only reason why Amari did not keep going in this game is because, just like I told you guys, it's not set up for these guys to really just ball out like how we want them to ball out. But Amari has 7.3 average yards. That is insane to me. I don't care what defense you're playing against. That's insane. All right. Le'Veon Moss, 6 for 26, 4.3 average, 1 touchdown. He is the lone person with a rushing touchdown right now. Ruben Owens, 7 carries for 25 yards, 3.6. Everybody that we wanted to see, which were the 3 running backs that we knew coming into the game was really going to have a rotation, they all got a chance to carry the football. I love that, man. Everybody got a chance to shine. I love that. Ruben Owens came in as a legit number 1 running back in the class of 2023. He knew that he was going to have a battle within that depth chart. Ruben took it for what it is, and he made the best of it. And I believe he enjoys being in this offense. I honestly do think that he enjoys being in this Valkyrie offense, and I love that, man. I love that. I love that. All right. Connor Wingman also 3 carries, 22 yards, 7.3 average. That's insane. David Bailey, which is a guy that is overly getting looked at. This is the transfer from Colorado State, if you guys not know. He's a senior transfer. He knew that he wasn't going to be the starter. However, he just wanted to come and be a part of something special in College Station in his mind. 4 carries, 20 yards, 5.0 average. Look at the average within these yards. Tell me that isn't a good average without telling me that that's a good average. All right. All in all, it was a total of 29 carries for 134 yards, 1 touchdown, 4.6 average. The only reason why it's a 4.6 average is because Max Johnson got sacked twice in this ball game, and it took it down a negative 10 yards, in which was a negative 5 yards a carry for Max Johnson. That's the only reason why this looks like this, because those numbers were kind of skewed. All right. So the thing that everybody wanted to see was how would the receivers perform. Evan Stewart had 8 catches in this game, 115 yards with a 14.4 average, 2 touchdowns, 35 longs. I don't know what else you guys need to see. Evan didn't need to stay in the game for long, and he did not. I don't know what else you guys need to see. All right, the big one, the big shocker of the day, but shout out to Taquito Spikes from SEC Network. That man said before the week started that my surprise player is Noah Thomas. Once again, shout out to Taquito Spikes for making that crucial and insane prediction and being right on what he said. Taquito knew what the hell he was talking about, and a lot of people need to give him credit for doing that and saying it, okay? Noah Thomas with a breakout game, 6 receptions, 74 yards with a 12.3 average and 3 touchdowns. Everybody remembers the insane catch that he made, which was the 2nd touchdown of the night in the corner of that end zone. That was insane. That was insane. If they're going to do that going forward, then you can lock me in for saying that Texas A&M has the best wide receiver unit in the nation. As of right now, they got the best wide receiver unit in the nation. Okay? So Anaya Smith, 3 receptions for 40 yards, with a 13.3 average. You guys need to really, really look at that. All right? 0 touchdowns, though, but with a 13.3 average. Excuse me. Jaheed Walker, in which I keep on raving about. 3 receptions, 31 yards with a 10.3 average. Notice how everybody had a 10-yard average and above in this game. 0 touchdowns, though. Moose Muhammad, 3 receptions, 12 yards, 4.0 average, 1 touchdown. You want to know why? Because Moose is that guy. He's that dog. He said, no, don't forget about me. Don't forget about me. I want to get in there. Let me get in. Let me get in there. Just one play, Jimbo and Bobby, and let me get a touchdown. All right, and that's what he did. He got in. He got a touchdown. Amari Daniels also had one reception for 5 yards with a 5-yard average. All in all, there was 24 receptions on the night with a 277-yard total. Please, guys, forgive me on that. With 11.5 with an 11.5-yard average, 6 touchdowns in total for the entire wide receiver corps. Okay, keep that in mind. Evan fumbled, but we didn't lose. All right, that's one thing that Evan said he wanted to get better with this season. As the season progresses, he'll get better. Josh DeBerry, that guy stood out defensively. 10 solo tackles. Okay, he had 1 interception in this game. Also, another one who stood out. Guys, I don't know why this keep on getting golly. Let me clear my throat. God, dog. Edrin Cooper, he stood out as well with 8 tackles. And he had about 3 tackles for loss. Okay. Bryce Anderson, he's still that guy. 5 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Walter Nolan made the biggest impact on the defensive line. And I knew Walter was going to do it sooner or later. I'm so happy for him, man, because he was so unhealthy last year. He got banged up a lot. Walter came into this game with something on his mind, and he wanted to show why he was the number 2 player in that 2022 class behind Travis Hunt. Okay? He was the number 1 defensive lineman coming out, and he proved it in this game. 7 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. I think that'll get better as the season goes along. Jordan Gilbert, that guy has been good ever since he touched the field. Okay. Geronte Davis, this guy was the middle linebacker that transferred from Jackson State, if I'm not mistaken. And he made about 4 tackles there. All right. Damani Richardson, 3 tackles. Shamar Turner, 1 tackle for loss. 3 tackles all in total. Shamar is going to be good, man. Shamar is finally coming within himself. Shamar Turner is good on that defensive line. He's defensive end, if you guys not know, and he's going to be good, man. It's a lot of Shamars on this team, so Shamar Turner was one of them. Tariq Chappelle. Tariq got crisscrossed on 1 play. Only 1, okay? So you got to keep that in mind. Jacoby Matthews, if you guys not know, he's number 14. He made a play on the ball when it was 4th down, and he was the reason to why that guy for the Lobos, which is the wide receiver, in which I thought he was going to actually beat us for the night, but he didn't. Tariq Chappelle was the guy that made a play on that ball and knocked that ball down for a pass deflection when it was going out of bounds. Okay. Jacoby Matthews. I'm sorry. Sam Matthews, the 12th man, he was actually pretty good. He made 2 tackles. Damian Sanford, he's the freshman linebacker. He was pretty good. Jared Kerr, a lot of you guys are forgetting him. He was a guy that made an impact in that game last year against Alabama. A lot of you guys forgetting that. When they were in the red zone, he made them kick the field goal. Okay? But that's him. That's Jared Kerr. He was a part of that 2022 class as well. Terrion York, he looked good just to be a freshman out there with 2 tackles. Martrell Harris, he looked good as well. Chris Russell, the linebacker, he looked okay. Albert Regis, he kept getting a lot of pressure on that quarterback. He made him 1 tackle for loss, though. Dalton Brooks, he was 1 tackle for loss as well, if you guys do not know. Chance Johnson, he's the middle linebacker from College Station. He was pretty good. Malik Silla, a lot of you guys forgetting about him. He made an impact. He got pressure. McKinley Jackson, he was good. LT Overton, he didn't really play in a ball game like that, but he was good. Javon Thomas is the one y'all better watch the whole entire season. He's that freshman defensive back that Texas tried to get to come over there with his boy that also came from the school down there in Dallas, man, the high school, as well as with Malik Muhammad. If I'm not mistaken, his name was Malik Muhammad, the cornerback that went over there to Texas. We wanted him so bad. I wanted him, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Malik is that guy. He's that good. He should have been a 5-star corner. But, like I say, Javon Thomas, South Oak Cliff is the high school. But Javon Thomas is who he wanted to come with him down there, all right? A lot of you guys didn't see him. A lot of you guys should have seen him though. DJ Hicks also got a tackle in this game. Fidel Diggs had no tackles, but he got a lot of pressure. Okay, Deuce Harmon, he was pretty good in the game. And Shamar Stewart, he did not get a tackle in this game only because it was wiped out because of the face mask penalty. Okay, so you guys need to understand that. Everything else overall, it looked pretty good. All right, it looked pretty darn good. All right, so I like it, man. I like it. I like it. Once again, I thank all of you guys for tuning in, man. I'm seeing a lot of you guys saying nobody comes close to our wide receiver group. Who's going to cover us? Nobody. Absolutely, 100. I can honestly say Malik sucks. He's a 3-star at best. He would have been a wasted bench player. Malik Muhammad? No, man, you're tripping. You're tripping on that. Once again, though, that defensive line does have some work to do. But all in all, they only gave up about 90 yards on the ground. Man, those guys only gave up about 91 rushing yards, and that's about it. The Merritt guy, he had 11 carries for 50 yards, 1 touchdown. Hey, so you got to give him that. But all in all, it's a lot of guys that carried the rock for them at New Mexico, and they only came away with about 91 yards. Last year, we gave up about 120 yards to Sam Houston State, in which did not score anything. All right, so you guys got to remember that. I wish we didn't give up those 10 points, but all in all, I seen the effective game plan from our defense within that first week. All right, I'll be intrigued to see what LSU is going to do tonight, in which I will be watching. So we will have to see on that. All right, so guys, that's enough for the overreaction for Texas A&M. Let's talk about the top 4 teams. If you guys have time to just stick around here. But man, let's talk about the top 4 teams here. Like I say, as of right now, the top 4 teams. Number 1, Georgia. Georgia did not look good. They did not impress me in that game. They did not impress me. I do not like it. I did not like what I seen from Georgia. All in all, they won the ball game 48-7. All right, I saw somebody say, "Hey man, Georgia didn't let UT Martin score until the 4th quarter." All in all, that's the FCS team. They done everything they were supposed to do. However, they did not look good in that game, man. Anybody who's saying that Georgia looked good in that game, they are a freaking lie. They are a freaking lie, and you're a homer because you're always calling me a homer. I'm going to say you're a homer for thinking that they look good. They did not look good, man. They did not. They did not look good. You say, I think Jacoby is number 2 this year. Javon Thomas is number 14. I'm going to have to look that up because I could be wrong on the jersey number. But Georgia did not look good, man. I don't like what I seen from that. All right, so man, let's look at the stats here. So Carson Beck, 21 or 31. I feel like he threw the ball too much in this game. He threw the ball way too much. There was no reason for Carson Beck to throw the ball 31 times in this game. You're playing against an FCS opponent. Why are you throwing the ball that much? I understand he has never started the game, so man, we really got to work him out there. He should have been out in the 3rd quarter. Now I didn't watch the whole game. I don't know if he did come out in the 3rd quarter or not. Carson Beck shouldn't have threw that ball 31 times though. It should have been more of a 17 for like 25, or something like that. I don't want to see Carson throwing the ball that much. All right, he got 294 yards. We'll give him that with a 9.4 average, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is on the first game. This is Carson Beck's first game being a starter. We don't know what we got, but Brock Vandegrift looked better than Carson Beck to me. 2 for 3, 77 yards, 25.7 average, 1 touchdown. If Carson Beck is going to be 21 for 31 going forward in a couple of more games, I think you have to make that switch. I think you got to make that switch to Brock Vandegrift. This is overreaction, total overreaction. But I know what I see, okay? And I don't like what I see from Carson Beck. I don't, man. All right, so the running game looked good, but let's face it, it's Georgia here. Kendall Milton, he's been good ever since he's been at Georgia. 9 for 53, 5.9 average. 0 touchdowns. Roger Robinson the second, 8 carries, 50 yards, 6.3 average, 1 touchdown. Gunnar Stockton, which is the quarterback here, people, 2 for 18, 9.0 average. All right, I don't know, man. You guys tell me if that's good or not. All right, so all in all, it was a couple more of the guys that run the ball, but I'm not going to name a whole lot here. 30 carries, 159 yards, with about 3 total touchdowns for running. You go down to the wide receiver, Brock Bowers is going to be that guy going forward. 5 for 77, 5 receptions, 77 yards, 15.4 average, 0 touchdowns. Mekhi Muse, 3 receptions, 75 yards, which is insane to me. 25-yard average, 1 touchdown. CJ Smith, 2 receptions, 57 yards, 28.5 average. Ra Thomas. Ra is that guy. Okay, he came from Mississippi State, if you guys didn't know. 1 for 56, 0 touchdown. All right, Dominique Lovett, 3 receptions, 25 yards, 8.3 average. I don't know how that lineup actually looked in this game, so it's kind of hard for me to actually say what's up. All right, Malachi Starks, he's the safety here. 8 tackles, 3 solo, 1 pass deflection. All right. I'm not sure of how that defense actually looked. I don't know if they got sacks like that in the game, but they gave up about 128 passing yards. They gave up about 134 rushing yards, though. So I don't know, man. You guys tell me. Did Georgia defense look good or did they not look good? I don't know. You guys got to honestly tell me what's what there. All right. But, man, we're going to see. We're going to see. All right. Let's keep on going here. Let's look at some more games. Look at my kids, man. They're in there acting up right now. I think somebody came to the door if I'm mistaken. But let's keep on going here. We got about 2 more games to talk about. What about 3 more? And we're just looking at the top 4 teams here, if you guys not know. Number 2, Michigan. Michigan is going to look like that, okay? I don't expect Michigan to score 50 to 60 points a game. All right, J.J. McCarthy looked good. That is about that is about as accurate of a quarterback that you could be for Michigan. In my mind, he's one of the best quarterbacks that Michigan has had ever since the 90s. That ain't a bold statement. That's a real factual thing. J.J. McCarthy will go into the first round. All right, he will come from Michigan. He will go in the first round. JJ was 26 of 30, 280 yards, 9.3 average, 3 touchdowns. This is the reason to why the guy that went to Iowa lost his starting spot. All right, ain't no question about it. JJ is that guy. I like him. I seen him when he was getting recruited. So that guy is that guy. I did not watch the game at all. But J.J. McCarthy is good, man. And anybody that does not believe in J.J., man, you're crazy. You're crazy, man. You're crazy as I don't know what. All right. Blake Corum, he still continues to shine. I think Blake will go in that 2nd or 3rd round range, being a running back. And, man, Blake will do wonders at Michigan. All right. So 10 carries, 73 yards, 7.3 average, 1 touchdown. Donovan Edwards, he didn't have the game that he was supposed to. 12 carries, 37 yards, 3.1 average. All in all, that team carried 31 carries, 122 yards. The receiving core, Roman Wilson, 6 for 78, 13.0 average, 3 touchdowns. He looked like Noah Thomas. Cornelius Johnson, 5 receptions, 71 yards, 14.2 average. Colston Loveland, 4 receptions, 57 yards, 14.3 average. Mostly everybody had like a 10-point-yard average. All right. That's going to go a long way. The Michigan defense was smothering once again. They look good. Now I expect those guys to go a long way. However, they did not get no sacks in this game. That's crazy to me. All right. So look, I said it anyways. I expect Michigan to win the Big Ten. I do, man. I'm sorry. I expect Michigan to win it again for the 3rd year in a row. I do not like what I see from Ohio State. Ohio State did not have a quarterback, but then again, that game is at the end of the year. But look where it's at. It's going to be out there in the big house. I think they're going to show up, man. And Michigan is going to win that ball game hands down. All right. Anyways, I'm looking too far off in the season. Al McCord, 20 of 33, 239 yards, 7.2 average, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. This is the first time in a long time where an Ohio State quarterback did not have a game. Did not have a touchdown in the opening game. They have 0 passing touchdowns to start the season. I've not seen that from an Ohio State quarterback since I don't know when. All right, that's been a long time, man, a long time. The running game did not look good at all. It just looks like they're out of sync. They're out of sync. That offensive game plan was horrible. That was horrible. That was the most horrible Ohio State offensive team I've seen in the last decade. I'm gonna say that once again, the last decade. That's the most horrible offensive showing I've ever seen, man. But all in all, they got about 2 rushing touchdowns. Cade Stover, which is a guy that I ain't much know that was on Ohio State roster. 5 receptions, 98 yards. He's the only one that looked good in this game. Marvin Harrison Jr., 2 receptions, 18 yards. I don't care who the opponent is. Marvin Harrison Jr. should have way many yards than that. However, defensively, they look damn good. They look damn good. That Ohio State defense will be their strongest point for this season, and that will be what they will have to lean on going forward for the season. All right. I don't expect Ohio State to be in the top 5 when the rankings come out. However, I think they'll be right at number 6, and that's about it. I do expect Alabama to be the number 1 team going into next week. I'm sorry, man. Only reason because of these stats here. We can say what we want to say about Jalen Milroe, but he didn't have to do anything in this game. He was 13 of 18 for 194 yards, 3 touchdowns. I don't know what you all want from out of Jalen. I still don't think that he's a quarterback that I believe that they are looking from him, but he looked good in this ballgame. All right. Alabama deserves every bit of being the number 1 team. However, their rushing yards. I haven't seen a guy not get 100 yards rushing in the first game of the season, probably since 2020. All in all, Alabama had about 205 rushing yards in this game. Passing yards wise, all in all, they had about 226, 3 touchdowns. I don't like what I see from that Alabama pass defense. I don't think they're going to be good once again. They were okay. They were decent. I think the rushing defense will be damn good this season again. I don't like what I've seen from them pass defensive wise because the quarterback was 21 of 32, 127 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. However, the QBR was 40.4 for that quarterback. He still threw 32 times, completed 21. All right, that's good going up against the Alabama defense. All right, I don't know, man. This once again, it's just overreaction here. The Alabama defense, they had about 3 sacks in this game in total. All right, they got a lot of tackles for loss. But we're looking at and we're thinking everything we thought about that Alabama team. They'll be a run team this year. They will strictly run football. I don't expect them to pass a lot. That's just me. I don't know what the overhype was with South Carolina, but they did not look good. I told y'all they weren't going to be good no ways. And a lot of them were mad for not being ranked and Texas A&M getting ranked, but this is the reason why. You weren't ranked. You're not ready yet. You're not ready. That offensive line gave up 9 sacks. I swear to you, North Carolina defense isn't as good as they looked in that game. And we'll see as the season goes along. But you can't tell me that North Carolina defensive line is better than your offensive line that is in the SEC. That's going to be a big problem for them. And Spencer Rattler didn't have 0 touchdowns, and he was god-awful. He looked like Spencer Rattler that we've been seeing ever since he's been at Oklahoma and when he first came to South Carolina. I don't expect that to change at all this season. I got South Carolina going 8-4. I honestly think they will go 8-4, maybe 7-5. I don't think they'll go 6-6. They probably will, depending on that offensive line, but we will see. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I thank you all. We've been on here for a long time. We went for an hour, but this is the overreaction. So this is what you're going to get. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I love all of you. Hashtag Eagle Max.